Hi there guys and girls, I just wanted to intro this interview a bit, just so you know what happened. Firstly, so I was at PAX, and I wasn't expecting this actually. When I was, just before PAX started, because I went as media, they were announcing some of the stuff that was there, and this Killer Instinct thing came out, the music for Killer Instinct, and you guys know I love my video game music and music in general. And yeah, it turns out that Mick Gordon was actually going to be there and giving a panel, so I was really excited. And I'd actually been tweeting to Mick. Actually, no, it was way before. It was like, no, I knew about it for a while, sorry. And I actually been tweeting to Mick and said, can I interview you at PAX? And we're like, yeah, man. And we queued it all up, and it was all good. I watched the panel, which was really cool, by the way. I wish I could have filmed it, but Mick asked me not to because of you know, didn't want to get into trouble with Microsoft or anything with announcements during the game. But the reason I wish I could have shown you the panel was Mick actually recorded us doing sounds in the panel, like the whoa and everything and stuff like that. And he's going to use it in a track. So the Aussies are going to be in the next Killer Instinct game and some of the music. That's so cool. But yeah, after that, whole heap of people hung around and got photos with Mick and everything. Really cool guy, really awesome. And then yeah, he knew I had an interview teed up, but because there were so many people getting autographs in that room, they had to clear the room out for the next panel. So we had to do it outside, and it was, you know, about 6 o'clock at night, and the sun had gone down, so it was dark already, right? And it had rained a lot that day, so it was sort of cold and wet. And the only place I could do it outside the place, because I didn't want to say to Mick, oh, let's go for a walk, you know, because he was already in a hurry, I believe. So I just thought, screw it, I'll just do it on the spot, and I did it under this light. So this one light that was like nearby, this is the only light that was nearby when we came out of the meeting room. And so that's why, I just wanted to let you guys know that's why it sort of looks a bit dark and stuff, because I'm under this light. And yeah, it even started raining during the interview, but I don't care. The interview was awesome, but I just didn't want you guys to think, oh, you know, this guy, like, he just does an interview anywhere. Like, it's like first the E3 at Boone one, like in the dark corner, and now the Killer Instinct one in a dark sort of environment. But I'm really glad I got to interview Mick. Really cool guy. He played us the tracks of Glacius and Saberwolf and Jago, which are the 3 announced levels. We got to hear them on select screen. We got to hear them without anything else, which was awesome. And he talked a bit about the layering too, the layering in the music, which I heard about at E3. I didn't realise this though, it's actually throughout the track. So if you don't fight, the music sort of like sort of drops down and crawls. And then as you fight, the adrenaline kicks in and it gets fast and hectic. I actually thought it was just at the end when you were doing like an ultra, because like at the end it's like dun 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 dun. It's something like that, you know. It goes crazy. Like the higher your combo goes, the more the music increments, and to make it like that exciting. It's really cool. The music's like alive. I love that. The music actually has like it can react to the game. It's very cool. And yeah, we got to hear Saberwolf, which is all about the strings and old school, like, you know, old school sort of like, you know, Count Dracula movies and stuff like that. It just gives you that feel, you know, like stuff like that. It's very gothic. And the Glacius one was really cool. I love the Glacius one. And the Select Dream, which was badass. But yeah, anyway, enough talking. Check out the interview. Thanks so much again to Mick Gordon. Top guy. I'm hoping maybe I can do another interview with him one day, maybe after the game's out or something, because he lives in Australia. I think he lives in my state, which is Melbourne, I think. Actually, it's funny, because in the interview I thought he was from New Zealand. I read that somewhere online, even though it didn't sound like it was from New Zealand. I read it online and I thought, oh, that must be right. Of course it wasn't. So I walked into that one. But yeah, enjoy the interview. Hope you guys enjoy it. And this is the first one for TotalKI. So if you've come over from TotalMK to check out my TotalKI interview, thank you. I'd appreciate you subscribing. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon for more KI content. Hi there guys, this is my first Killer Instinct interview and I'm here with Mick Gordon, who has the awesome and daunting task of having to do the music on the next Killer Instinct, or the new Killer Instinct game, which is being made by Double Helix. So I've got a few questions for you. My first question is, what are your musical influences and have you applied them to doing the music for this game?
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. So musical influences for me are everything. Anything that makes a sound is the most exciting thing ever. The music for Killer Instinct, it's Robin Beanland and Graham Norgate. My whole goal with this project is to write music that is a tribute to them. Secondly is awesome for fans. Third is whatever I think. It has to be for Robin and Graham and then for fans. That's the most important thing.
So you're a Robin and Graham fan from the start? Yeah. Me too, me too. I got to ask, what was some of your first gaming systems?
Yeah, my first gaming system was an Atari 2600. Pitfall, all that sort of stuff, man. It was absolutely, oh God, now, oh man, so many, I mean, those things are burned in my, you know, just like the cartridge messing up, and you kind of pull it out and have to blow into it to make it work and things. I mean, that stuff there was just incredible.
So you had an Atari 2600. Did you have anything like a Commodore 64? Because the reason I asked is Atari 2600 was very limited with the music, obviously. You got the beep, beep, bloop, 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 or the
those are my favourites, yeah.
But when you got to things like, for me, Commodore 64, the SID chip, the 6581, that had some really awesome beats, especially if you heard anything from Mac Gray or Russell Librick.
Oh yeah,
or,
that whole demo scene's incredible.
You know, yeah, so like, did you have that other sort of things like that?
Yeah, I actually missed the whole Commodore 64 thing. I stuck on the console, on the console. So my first was the 2600, 2600. The second was a Sega Master System 2 with Alex Kidd built in, which also had amazing music. Sonic the Hedgehog, those sort of games were my childhood there. Yep. So I kind of missed that whole demo scene thing. But I mean, those guys were creative because the sounds that they used were so limited that they had to focus on writing great music. They couldn't hide behind snazzy, you know, tricks and things. It was all about the melody and awesome things. That's why so much awesome music came from that time.
Yeah, I've read some crazy things like Rob Hubbard, who did the music for Commando, which is an amazing tune on Commodore 64 if you've heard it. He wrote that overnight.
Yeah, I know that.
And that thing, he wrote code to loop parts of the music because he didn't have the room. Like, it was all about the tricks back then.
Yeah, man.
Oh, what have I done here? Okay. So well, my next question was, did you play the original KI games? And I guess we sort of already answered that.
Yeah, so I grew up in a very small town called Capella in central Queensland. There was not a lot there, right? But in the pub in Capella was one single arcade machine, which just happened to be Killer Instinct. That's it. And I remember, you know what's so cool about the arcade? Is that the arcade machine itself would vibrate with the loud sounds. When you play an arcade now, it vibrates. It's like the world's first rumble pack. You could feel it as you were playing, right? It was an awesome thing. So yeah, Killer Instinct on the arcade, KI on the Super Nintendo. Then I got a 64 and Killer Instinct Gold, and yeah, just hours and hours and hours and hours, man. That's childhood right there.
I feel you on that one. So I was going to say, how does it work? How does it work with the new KI game? Are you shown an arena art to come up with tracks or video? Which I stumbled on this question because I've already asked this one actually in a Q&A. So.
No, yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, for sure. So the best thing for me is any inspiration that the developers can provide. So anything from visuals, character bios, animation scripts. These guys send me big documents that entail like all the combo systems and the special moves and the backstory, the visuals, any images that they want the characters to look like, anything like that. Then up to full visuals, full video, anything like that at all. Yeah, conversations with developers. I was very fortunate to visit Double Helix earlier this year and actually visit around the studio and meet the guys and, you know, get hands-on and all that sort of thing. And they've got a MAME cabinet in the actual studio with the original Killer Instinct on, right? So I was able to play there and they completely whipped my ass and all that sort of thing. It was great fun. But yeah, man, absolutely. Anything you can get for inspiration, yeah, they're very good at it.
Awesome. And I was going to say also, have you spoken to Robin Beanland and Graham Norgate, which you've already answered?
Yeah, no, sure, yeah. So Robin, everything I do on this project, has to go through Robin. Not as in, you know, it needs to, you know, for legitimate reasons or anything like that, but for my own personal benefit, it has to go through Robin. If Robin's not happy with what I do, I redo it. That's it. He's the master. He's the original. It's his baby. I'm just the custodian that gets to play, you know, this kind of in this cool world for a little while, and then you know, off we go again. But it's a tribute to what those guys did. It's my childhood. They wrote the music for my childhood, so it has to be treated so seriously with these guys.
Awesome. This might be a bit tricky for you to answer because of legality and stuff, but maybe you can just let me in on what you've done so far. What's your favourite track so far?
Oh, really good question. Every single one's been really fun because we go on this whole creative journey with every single one. So when you start with Jago, you've got to reimagine Jago, and you're kind of looking at it and go, well, what is he now? And it's from that point there to where we end up, this whole journey takes place, which is many days, many late nights, many movies, many thoughts, many readings, many books, many travels, many conversations, many research, talking to different people, talking to fans. What does he actually mean, to try and come up with something? So, you know, Jago's the favorite at that time. Then when we jump onto Glacius, Glacius is the favorite. And then when we do Saberwolf, Saberwolf's a favorite, right? So every single character that you're working at the time becomes the favorite. It'll be interesting once we're all said and done what's going to be the favorites, I guess. Saberwolf has been really interesting so far because we had the whole strings and they were playing really crazy and stuff.
I heard all the strings.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, it's like old school. Like, yeah, that's so cool. Were you excited when you first heard you will be composing the new KI tracks?
Dude, it's a really tough question. This is a game that has defined a video game generation. It is so incredible. It's our game, you know, that's our thing from our childhoods, right? So when you kind of have to be asked to tap into that, you've really got to look inside yourself and think, how do I actually do this? It's a big thing to take on. But what you draw from that is utter respect. The franchise needs utter respect. The original creators need utter respect. The fans need utter respect. That's the most important thing. So as long as that is the focus, I think we'll be okay. I don't know, ask me again at the end when I'm institutionalized and we'll see what happens.
Well, you're quite sane so far. Do you like to play fighting games?
Yeah, definitely, man. I don't actually get a lot of time for games at the moment because I was up to 4 in the morning now playing games. So, you know, if I'm finishing work at 4 in the morning, right, after being up all day, and then load up the television with the loudspeakers, you know, poor wife sleeping next door gets quite upset, right? So yeah, definitely, man. I just finished playing through Last of Us and things, which was amazing.
We're gonna get to that.
Yeah. Street Fighter 4 is really, really cool, of course. Yeah, I'm really excited to see where Killer Instinct is going and things. When I got to play it in February when I went to see Double Helix and stuff, it's really fast. It's a lot faster than the original game. It's really visceral, like you really feel each impact and stuff. They've spent a lot of care and attention to making it violent. They really want to get that killer in the Killer Instinct across. So yeah, I'll be playing this one a bit, that's for sure.
Now this question, I'm not entirely sure if it's worded right, but I was going to say, is it hard to work on music for a game from a remote location? I believe you're from New Zealand, is that correct?
No, I'm from Australia.
So, okay, so I totally fucked that up. But there's one of us, so it's all good. But so you have to work on the project from here. Yep. Does it make it hard? Tricky?
What's interesting is in the 90s, if I was doing this, it would be almost impossible. Nowadays, because of internet speeds, data, stuff like that, it makes it so much easier to work remotely. So for technical reasons, it's quite simple. With things like FTPs and Dropbox and stuff like that, it's quite simple. We do Skype chat, so you can actually see the people. It's like you're there. Really what we do is work in a creative industry, right? Like you're creative with the website and things, so it's the same thing, it's a creative thing. When you're focusing on your website, you're there with the computer. When you're doing graphics and stuff, that's you focusing on it, right? You're not kind of hanging out with people and chilling out. You know, it's not a social occasion, you're focusing on the work. So almost being here in Australia allows me to focus solely on the creative journey that the fans and Robin and Graham deserve for this project, versus being distracted all the time with, you know, conceptions and things if we're overseas, for example. So it's nice for that sort of reason, yeah. It's quite easy nowadays, that's for sure.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Mick. And yeah, this is Luke signing out for Total KI, and I'll see you guys soon. And just remember, combo breaker!
Coming to your home in 2013 on the Xbox One! Jago! exist.